But it finally happened. We got a trade for Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. I'm just going to go over the details right now. Okay, the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, of course, pick 15 of this year's draft, a 2023 fifth round pick, which would be pick number 170. And on the other end, Packers get pick number 13 of this year, a 2023 second round pick number 42, a sixth rounder, pick 207, and a conditional 2024 second rounder that will become a first. Okay, will become a first if Rodgers decides to play about 65% of his plays. Now, I don't know if that means for this upcoming season. I'm assuming it does because it's 2024. So, yeah, that's the trade that happened literally today, this afternoon, as I was driving home from work. Something we've been waiting on for a while. So, Lawrence, kind of break down the trade for us. And I guess if you had to give out grades, what are your grades for each team?
So looking at the trade, I guess now that I've had some time for it to settle in, I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was earlier. I still don't like it. I'm still a little confused on it, but I guess I guess it's acceptable. Because so earlier I was like, oh, I don't know why they didn't wait until after the draft, because the Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to play for Green Bay. So the Jets could use it for more leverage in order to give less. Because the man's not going to play for you anyways. But, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, okay, so the Jets are just moving down 2 spots in the draft. It's no big deal. They did give up their second-round pick, but they still have a second-round pick, I think, from when I was reading. So they still have a second-round pick. It reminds me a little bit, I guess how they fleeced Carolina for Sam Darnold. So it kind of reminds me of that kind of trade in a sense. But I'm now looking at it now, like I understand that 2024, it's going to be a first round pick. But like, if you think you're going to do really good with Rodgers, then that pick is less valuable than you would say otherwise. I mean, if you don't think you're going to do good with Rodgers, then that pick is too valuable to trade it this way. But I mean, do you think you're going to make the playoffs, which you haven't made the playoffs in a very long time, but do you think you're going to make the playoffs and then cause some noise in the playoffs and possibly win a game? I mean, you're picking 24th and lower, so I don't see how it hurts. I mean, they put together a better O-line. Like earlier, they signed McGovern. So that's a re-sign. He used to play for the Jets. They've signed some other guys in the O-line this offseason. So they're making sure, before he even got there, they made sure Rodgers was going to get protected. They got some nice depth. I mean, if you look at the tape last year, the Jets weren't bad. They had a good defense. Their defense is going to stay the same. They have a defensive-minded coach. So it's not going to get worse on that end. It's just the offense that needed to get better. Well, now they have a good quarterback, and if you looked at it last year, the quarterback held them back multiple times. I mean, it's bad when Mike White is your go-to saving grace. I mean, it's the reason why he wasn't starting to begin with. But you look at the offensive weapons on the team. You got Breece Hall, Michael Carter. So you got 2 running back tandems right there. Both scary, both can catch the ball. Kind of no power backs on the team. So, Rodgers has always had a power back, something he's not going to have on this team. Then for tight end, you got Conklin. Guy's serviceable, great. He does everything you need him to for a tight end. Good at blocking. Will run a good quick route for you. Maybe he can replicate Tunyon a little bit. Then you got McCole Hartman, straight up speedster, just run a straight line really fast. Rodgers is going to like that. Got him Alan Lazard to give him some familiarity.
Back.
And then you got to think about it, like, they still have Corey Davis. Corey Davis was pretty good a couple years ago. I mean, it's kind of hard to say is Corey Davis not as good, but because he didn't have a quarterback throwing him the ball. And then Garrett Wilson balled out with no quarterback at all. So when you give him Rodgers, this team should, on paper, be way better. But I just think it's like the irony of the whole thing of Rodgers just following suit of Brett Favre. Plus, if history repeats itself, Aaron Rodgers will take this team to a 10-6 season, or I guess now it'd be 10-7 season, and not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I totally agree because that division's tough. You got the Jets, you got the Patriots, you got the Bills, you got the Dolphins too, right? So like you have four teams in the division who have pretty decent teams, probably above average in AFC. So there's going to be some competition for those playoff spots in that division. What would you say as far as grades? Like if you had to give a letter grade, what would you give each side?
So I just think that the 2 first-round picks are a wash. Those are a wash. Those are washed out. So that getting that second-round pick and that first next year, I'd give Green Bay an A. I mean, that's exactly what you needed because you basically got a second-round pick and a first-round pick next year for Aaron Rodgers, which is pretty good given his age. And to the Jets, I technically only gave up 1 first-round pick. I did give up a second, but the first-round pick I do give up is next year, which has less value to me because I'm a little bit in not a win now situation, but I got a team that can win now. So I'm getting what I need now. I just give it like an A-. Like I can't give it better than the Packers grade. I got to give it like a B+, an A-. It just can't be better than it physically cannot be better than the Packers trade. The Packers grade, but I mean, now that you let it simmer in a little, I think the Jets did everything they were supposed to, right? I mean, maybe you wait until after the draft. Yeah, you give up that first next year, but then you don't give up this second this year, kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you also have to look at it on the other hand, like you're probably going to give up a first or a second for Rodgers, so you did, but you're giving up a first or second, and you don't know how that talent's going to produce. Like you don't know what you're going to get out of the draft. You might draft a guy, but then he doesn't mount to anything. At least you know what you're getting out of Rodgers, whether or not he's fully in the season or not. Well, that's to be told. Maybe he's told the Jets that he's complete in, which if he is, that's great for them. But the man was like 90% ready to get retired, so maybe they know some things that we don't.
Maybe so. I don't know. And do you really believe he was 90% retired? The man was about to make, what, $60 million this year?
I mean, I don't think he was. I think he was just trying to get the Packers to either cut him, leave him, trade him, like just kind of say, I'm not going to play for you guys again. But also, like, man's got a Jeopardy career coming up, so he can do that kind of thing.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. He's a pretty good host of Jeopardy, man.
Yeah, I don't, Jeopardy was my thing a while ago when Alex Trebek was, still around and doing his thing, but I don't know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers hosting Jeopardy.
Well, I don't know. I think the lady's a little better than he is. I can't remember her name. I just know she's from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay.
Amy Farrah Fowler. But she does a great job. I like her too. But there's 3 of them that do it. There's like the guy Ken, who was like the all-time winningest Jeopardy player.
See, Ken is cool, but the Amy woman, I don't know her too well, so I can't speak on her. But anyways, let's get back into Aaron Rodgers. So we got an A for the Packers, A- for the Jets. That's not bad. I think for me, I'm agree with you with the Packers. I think it's an A. I feel like it's everything that you basically got like what you could for Aaron Rodgers. Like you basically so you pick swap basically for this year. You get a second this year, which is good because you still need the team built a little bit. You still got some holes you need to fill because you kind of retooled last year and you're still kind of retooling again this year. But this time you're just doing it around Jordan Love. So that's good. You got a 6th-round pick, which, I mean, and it's a 6th-round pick. It's a hit or miss, you know. You're just trying to find a diamond in the rough when it comes to that. But like you said, like you basically get like a late first-rounder because, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to play 65% of the snaps. Unless some, knock on wood, some bad injury happens and he has to, you know, sit out the majority of the season. But there's a pretty good chance he plays for the good chunk of the season. So that second is going to turn into a late first because, I mean, I imagine even with a tough division, you know, like you said, the Jets have a really good defense. The offense has weapons, but it was the quarterback that was holding them back. I mean, he had Mike White. You know, he's a gunslinger, but as far as decision making and, you know, making consistent, timely throws, it's not really his thing. And who's the other kid was what? Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was just, I don't even want to talk about him, but so yeah, I mean, quarterback was holding them back. So as far as the Jets, I'm gonna go a little bit lower than you. I'm gonna go B+. I feel like it's a win-win for both sides, but I feel like you're basically renting Rodgers for like a year because, I mean, I know he has 2 years on his deal, but he's pretty much only committed, even if he were to play for the Packers this season, he was only being committed for like 1 more year. So I'm assuming that's what I'm going to go off of is I'm going to assume that he's going to play 1 more year. Unless they throw more money at him, then yeah, he's probably going to play another year or two. But my assumption now is he's going to play 1 more year. So it's going to be basically a rental. And, you know, that basically means like you have to go all in. You know, they've basically done everything they can to please him with, you know, signing Lazard, strengthening the O-line. Who knows? They might go in the draft and get another wideout. They might, you know, who knows what they'll do in the draft to kind of appease Rodgers and whatever issues that he might have with the offense. But overall, I think it's a win-win. You can kind of equate it to like the Pacers and the Kings trade from last season. It worked out for both sides. You can't really, you know, at the moment pick a winner, but we'll see how it goes next season.
I think in terms of drafts, I think the Jets are going to go back in the defensive side. I think there's certain things that they can pick up on and improve with. Those kind of things being like, I think they could use a little bit better of a safety, maybe a little bit more in the linebacking core. I think offensively they're set. I mean, like if the worst receiver in theory on your wide receiving core is Alan Lazard or Corey Davis, I mean you're chilling, you're fine. Yeah, and their running backs are great. Breece Hall, he was doing great before he got hurt. I just think they're going to go defense. I mean, that's just my thoughts. They're going to go somewhere on the defensive end because Sauce Gardner is going to need some other guys out there helping him out. But, I mean, Sauce Gardner went from wearing the cheese head to bringing in the second best cheese head ever. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. As far as records now, I mean, obviously they're going to have a winning record, but do you see them, and this is still early, but do you see them winning the division? Is that possible?
I see them coming in second in the division. But that being said, I do see them beating the Bills in one of the 2 regular season games. I don't think they have a better record than the Bills, but I think they're going to beat the Bills at home this year.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. They probably come second. The Bills are still the best team in that division. I just don't trust the Patriots. I mean, they got Bill O'Brien as the offensive coordinator, so we'll see what kind of magic he can work with Mac, but I don't trust the Patriots. And the Dolphins, I mean, with Tua's health, things are in like limbo, I should say. So I don't know. It's tough. Would you say it's the toughest division now? Because I know the AFC West was, getting a lot of talk last year that, they might be the toughest division in the AFC. But what do you think between them and AFC East?
In the AFC, the toughest division, I'm still going to probably go West. I think the AFC West is probably the best division. I think with all those teams over there, Denver, Raiders, Chiefs, San Diego, I think they're better.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you look at the Dolphins roster. Yeah, they have great core pieces, but the problem is your mainstay at quarterback is Tua, who's constantly hurt, and then his backup is Mike White. So let's be realistic here. That's not a recipe for success. Skylar Thompson didn't look great last year, but he's also a rookie.
He looks serviceable. For a rookie, he looks serviceable.
Well, I mean, he got beat up by the Jets, so
he had his moments as a rookie, though. You got to give him that.
So, I mean, okay, they all do, but the problem is, there's hard to have faith in the Dolphins and the Patriots. They're going to have a good defense, but I mean, once they figure out something offensively, which they don't really have weapons to be creative.
They got Juju. He can dance, right?
He can dance in the middle of the field.
He can get knocked out the same game.
Yeah. We'll see if he dances on certain teams. I mean, we'll see if he dances and plays the next game. Belichick might sit him.
Yeah, can't be doing them antics around Daddy Belichick. Hello there, and welcome to the MTL Sports Podcast. Thank you for watching this video clip of one of our most recent episodes. Please drop a like, drop a comment in the comment section below, and also please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with the most recent MTL Sports Podcast content. For those that don't know, we are also available on Spotify for those who listen audio only. Once again, thank you so much, and this is the MTL Sports Podcast. You whip up my appetite.